You know, after a certain age, and I'm not naming numbers, but let's just say after the candles don't fit on one cake anymore, we start to realize that our hair can either work for us or against us. I've seen it in my own mirror. You get that haircut you've been loyal to for 15 years. And then one day, you catch your reflection in a shop window and think, maybe it's not giving what it used to give. Sometimes we're not even looking for a huge change, just a little refresh. But here's the thing, the right haircut doesn't just trim the ends. It can take years off your look. It's like a facelift without the surgery and with a much smaller bill. And yes, there are haircuts that do exactly that. I've seen them work their magic again and again, in friends, in family, and in every brave woman who sits down in that salon chair, ready for a change. That's why today we're talking about 5 haircuts that can make women over 60 look younger in the most natural, effortless way. These aren't about trying to look 25 again. We've been there, we've done that, we've paid those bills. These are about looking like the best version of yourself right now. And before we dive in, if you love ideas that make life after 60 brighter, fresher, and more stylish, you're in the right place. This is Glow After 60. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join our little corner of the internet where silver hair is a crown, laugh lines are welcome, and style has no expiration date. All right, let's start with a cut that's been a quiet miracle worker in my salon chair for years. Style 1. Layered bob. In my chair, the most dramatic transformations often come from the simplest cuts. A layered bob can take 10 years off, and all it takes is the right layers in the right places. Maria, master stylist. Now, when Maria says simple cuts, she's not talking about boring. She means classic shapes that are clever in disguise, the kind of haircut that works hard for you, even when you're just pulling on your cardigan and heading out for groceries. A layered bob is exactly that. It's cut somewhere between the chin and the shoulder, but the magic is in those soft, face-framing layers. Instead of one heavy line of hair that just hangs there, the layers add movement and life. They open up your face, soften the jawline, and here's the bonus. They can even make your neck look longer. And if you've been feeling like your hair is starting to lose a bit of bounce, because, well, gravity happens to all of us, these layers can give it that gentle lift without looking done. Stylist tip: if you really want the full effect, ask for a few soft highlights or lowlights around the face. Nothing too streaky, just enough to catch the light and make people wonder if you've been on a beach holiday. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but I've had a bob before. It didn't do much. Trust me, this is not the school librarian bob from the 1980s. This is lighter, softer, and a little bit flirty. Style 2. Soft Pixie. If the layered bob is like slipping into your favorite well-tailored jacket, then the soft Pixie is like throwing on a fabulous silk scarf. Light, effortless, and instantly elevating everything. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Pixie? Oh no, short hair makes me look like my brother George. But here's the secret. A soft pixie isn't about chopping everything off and hoping for the best. It's about keeping the edges gentle, adding a little softness around the hairline, and making sure it works with your features instead of fighting them. The result? A style that feels airy and playful, not severe. You can still tuck a little piece behind your ear, ruffle it up when you're feeling cheeky, or smooth it down when you want that polished I have my life together look. Stylist tip: a side-swept fringe is your best friend here. It breaks up the forehead, balances the face, and gives you a bit of that mysterious, I know something you don't vibe. And let's not forget the biggest benefit, mornings. A soft pixie means you can roll out of bed, run your fingers through your hair, add a dab of styling cream, and be done. Honestly, you might spend more time finding your reading glasses than doing your hair. Style 3. Shoulder-length cut with face-framing layers. There's something about shoulder-length hair that feels like the perfect middle ground. Not too short that you can't curl it for a special dinner, not so long that it tangles in your handbag zipper. It's the Goldilocks of haircuts. Just right. But the magic isn't just in the length, it's in those face-framing layers. Think of them as your personal lighting crew. They soften the cheekbones, draw the eye upward, and, without any contour makeup, create a subtle lifting effect. If you've ever had that moment where you're looking in the mirror, gently pulling your hair back with your hands, and thinking, why does my face look better like this? Then face-framing layers are your answer. They give you that effect, without the arm workout. Stylist tip. A few soft waves through the mid-lengths can work wonders. You don't even need a curling iron, just a round brush and a few minutes while your coffee brews. And here's another bonus. Shoulder-length hair is versatile. You can wear it straight and sleek for a classic look. Give it a casual bend for lunch with friends, or pin one side back with a pretty clip when you're feeling fancy. My friend Caroline was a ponytail every day kind of woman. She said it was easy and she didn't have time to fuss with her hair. One day, she came to me and said, I think I'm ready for something not boring. We went for a shoulder-length cut with soft, sweeping layers around her cheekbones. The next week, she came back laughing, saying, everyone keeps asking if I've lost weight. I haven't, but I'm not correcting them. Style 4. Wispy bangs. Ah, bangs, the great gamble of womanhood. We've all had that one unfortunate fringe moment, usually involving kitchen scissors and a burst of misguided confidence. But let me tell you, wispy bangs are not those bangs. Wispy bangs are the lighter, airier, softer cousin. They don't sit like a heavy curtain across your forehead. Instead, they gently skim it, letting some skin peek through. The result? A little mystery, a little softness, and a whole lot of, I'm not telling you my age, and you wouldn't guess it anyway. They're also secretly brilliant at blurring forehead lines. You know, those little creases that show up one day out of nowhere, as if your skin just decided to keep a record of every surprised expression you've ever made. Wispy bangs hide them without hiding you. Stylist tip. They work beautifully with a bob or shoulder-length hair, and they grow out gracefully, so you won't have that awkward half a fringe, half a mullet phase. And they add that touch of French girl charm. You know, like you've just stepped out of a Paris cafe where you've been sipping espresso, journaling about life, and casually looking fabulous without even trying. So there you have it. 5 haircuts that don't just change your hair, they lift your whole mood. From the light, playful Pixie to the soft, face-framing layers of a shoulder-length cut. From the French charm of wispy bangs to the airy movement of a textured lob. Each one has its own little superpower. And the layered bob? Well, that one's been quietly making women look fresher for decades, without ever going out of style. The best part? None of these cuts are about trying to turn back the clock to 25. They're about making now feel amazing. So when you look in the mirror, you see someone who still has a sparkle in her eye and a bounce in her step. And remember, hair grows. If you try something and it's not quite right, that's okay. We figure it out one cut at a time. Sometimes the joy is in the experimenting, and sometimes it's in the moment your stylist spins that chair around and you think, oh, hello there. Now I'd love to hear from you. If you were sitting in my salon chair right now, which of these 5 haircuts would you choose first? And have you ever had a style that completely surprised you? In a good way or a not so good way? Share it in the comments. You never know who you might inspire. And if you enjoyed this little style session, make sure you're subscribed to Glow After 60 This is our cozy corner of the internet where silver hair is a crown. Laugh lines are welcome, and style has no expiration date. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next tips, stories, and inspiration that keep us glowing inside and out. Until next time, stay fabulous, stay curious, and don't be afraid to try something new, even if it's just a few layers.